TFT's patch 1320 has just hit, and with it a huge buff to multicasters and Twisted Fate at the same time, with TF dominating the meta as a champion and as a legend. So let's take a look at our top 5 comps for you to abuse this patch. First up, we have the Heart of the Cars, which is a team full of multicasters and strategists which uses TF, Galio, Jarvan, Vel'Koz, Swain, Azir, Sona and Talia. And just like your main carry, your legend to pick in this comp will be Twisted Fate for those perfect items. Or you can also go for Lee Sin for faster rerolls. This is a level 6 slow roll comp that focuses on 3-starring your 2-cost carries Twisted Fate and Galio, and Swain potentially too. For items, you want to get TF's items ready as soon as you can, with Blue Buff, Jeweled Gauntlet and Gunblade being ideal. Then you want to gear up your main tank in the front, which will be either Galio or Swain, depending on what you hit copies of first, and get 3-starred. A Stoneplay, a Bramble Vest and Ionic Spark are your best choices here. After that, you want to throw any remaining tank items onto Jarvan and any AP onto Vel'Koz. For augments, it's all about your strategists and multicasters, which is why a Heart or Soul of the two of these is an instant pickup. Pandora's items will make it possible for you to get those perfect items on your carries, and Magic Wand will boost your power even more. If you do stumble upon perfected repetition, then congrats in ending up in first place. Don't forget, we also have in-depth video guides for all the strongest comps each patch. So make sure you click that link in the description to check out those guides and make sure you're not missing out. Next up, we have Demacia, which as you'd expect runs with a full Demacian board. You'll use the 3 Demacian carries in Fiora, Kayle and Mordekaiser as your +1 emblem carry, alongside the remaining Demacians Jarvan, Sona, Quinn and Galio. And then you can also add in Aatrox as a trait filler. Your carries will only need 2 items each, as they'll get those radiant ones the trait provides, making this comp insanely powerful once it comes online. But for the legend to play in this comp, we'd recommend Earth, to make Mordekaiser ditch his Noxian origins and turn him into a Demacian instead. Or you can also go for Caitlyn for her starter kit. This is a default leveling comp, as you want to hit 7 Demacia at level 7 by finding your main 4 costs Fiora, Jarvan and Mord. When it comes to items, you want to focus on your 3 main Demacian carries, and also since Kayle is your first carry in the game, you want to make sure you keep her happy with 2 Rage Blades. Then you have BT and Titans on Fiora, and throw the Emblem and a Rapid Fire Cannon on Mordekaiser. Any leftover AP and mana you can put on Sona with the Spear of Shojin, and Jarvan will take care of the extra tanking with the Protector's Vow. For augments, your highest priority is getting that +1 Demacian emblem online, so make sure you lock down this comp if you see an early crest or crown. You can also achieve this with Dedication or Earth's Ancient Archives too. If you did pick Caitlyn as a legend though, you always want to pick up starter kit to hopefully hit one of your main 4 costs early on. But also don't forget to always lock in Petricite Shackles. Next up, we have a comp that got pretty popular by the end of last patch, and it's called Dash for Days. This uses a wild mix of utility heavy units in Nilah, Sejuani, Gangplank, Jarvan, Sion, Heimerdinger, Nautilus and Ashe. And for the legend to play, we'd recommend going for Twisted Fate for Nilah specific items. This is another default comp that wants you to play with a stable early game, so you can save up gold and find your main utility units at level 7. You'd also want to aim to reach high levels too though, to bring in those 5 costs in Gangplank, Sion and Heimerdinger to make sure you take home the win. For items, you want to definitely focus on gearing up your Nilah first, with a very specific item build in 2 rapid fire cannons and a Giant Slayer. Then it's all about loading up Sejuani with massive tank items in Bramble Vest, Declaw and Protector's Vow. Then you can basically just throw any leftover items on Gangplank, with Spear of Shojin, Jeweled Gauntlet and an Adaptive Helm being ideal. For augments, the highest priority will be any form of Pandora's items, so you can make sure you get Nilah's perfect build online. Aside from that, this comp loves combat augments such as scoped weapons, you have my bow, you have my sword, as well as any form of healing orbs. For our next comp at number 4, we have a trait that's been buffed 2 patches in a row now, Shurima Nomads. This comp uses Azir, Nasus, Jarvan, MF, Aatrox, K'Sante, Neferi and Renekton, and for the legend to play, we definitely advise going for Earth. This is another default leveling comp, so it's also all about saving up gold until you hit level 7, where you can start rolling to find all of your 4 cost units, Azir, Nasus and Jarvan. The highest cost Nomad in K'Sante is also crucial for this comp, which is why you also need to make sure you have enough gold to go for your second roll down once you hit level 8. For your items, your main carry Azir will do best with the Rage Blade, Static Shiv and Nash's Tooth. And apart from that, it's all about getting as many defensive items online for your juicy frontline. With Nasus loving a Bramble Vest, Dragon's Claw and Warmox, a Protector's Vow onto Jarvan alongside the Shurima emblem, and then any other tank items across any more of your frontline. For augments, you definitely want to go for a Shurima emblem if you can with a crest or crown, as this will allow you to play this comp easier, make it more flexible, and also increase its ceiling too, because if you get a second emblem, it's an easy first place every time. So any other emblem augments like Dedication, Ancient Archives, or Earth's Grab Bag are also great choices. For combat augments though, this comp loves Unified Resistance to increase your frontline even further. You can also go for You Have My Bow to boost your attack speed on your bird in the backline. And finally, our last comp of the day is one that's incredibly consistent, and it has been since the start of this mid-set 9.5, and it's called Cho'Gath, aka Bruiser Bites. Now, although Cho'Gath and his friends are getting back-to-back nerfs, the Bruiser trait is just where the consistency of this comp comes from. They simply just make such a strong frontline, especially if paired with 3 stars on low-cost carries in Renekton and Cassiopeia, alongside Rek'Sai, Sion, Sejuani, Ryze, and Vi. This comp has cycled through a bunch of carries from Kayle and Malzahar, and now it's Cassiopeia, but you can be pretty dynamic as long as you have those big beefy bruiser boys in the frontline. For the legend to play in this comp, again we'd recommend going for Twisted Fate to help you get those perfect items, or you can also go for Lee Sin to help you out when rerolling to hit those 3-starred bruisers easier. When it comes to strategy for this comp, you should know the drill by now. Stay as low level as possible and 3-star your 1 costs Cho'Gath, Renekton, and Cass. Then as soon as you've done this, try to level up to level 8 and activate 6 bruisers to take home the win. For items, you want to gear up Cho'Gath or Renekton with full tank items, whichever one you hit 3 stars first. Cho'Gath loves the classic choices of Bramble Vest, Dragon's Claw, and Redemption, and Renekton prefers utility and regen with Sunfire Cape, Onyx Spark, and Warmogs. Cassiopeia is your main source of damage in the backline, and she wants that blue buff for the ultimate casts, along with extra damage in Jeweled Gauntlets and Nash's Tooth. Now for augments, a Bruiser Heart's Crest or Crown is a genuine no-brainer, as it makes this comp even easier to hit than it already is. Then you also have the Bruiser trait Titanic Strength, Golden Ticket for those rolldowns, or the legend augments Pandora's items or training rewards. And that's going to bring us to the end of our top 5 comps for you to play this patch 1320. Don't forget to download Mobalytics before you go and use our in-game overlay to see all the best items, comps, augment win rates, and guides to help you climb in set 9.5. Thanks for watching guys, and as always, take care.